ridden by Lacey Morrison last week. Larry Cassidy has the mount today. Lacey going on to Lespalia for Gay Waterhouse. Okay, they're all in, set and ready to run. 1800 ahead of them, My Chinese King the inside. Masque's Image with a new trainer now with Timmy Martin, and they're off this time. My Chinese King away nicely from the inside. Masque's Image jumped well, so did Oxano. Lespalia starting to hunt around them now, followed by Al Jamil, and then a length and a half to Colombo, followed by Bayraktar, and last of all is Jewel of the Nile. Into the back, Lespalia looks as though he'll go to the lead, and as they race along towards the 1400 marker now, and Lespalia over racing, pulls his way to the lead now from My Chinese King. Third is Masque's Image, and Oxano's fourth, and then another 3.5 lengths or so to Al Jamil, a couple of lengths Colombo from Jewel of the Nile, and Bayraktar on the outside at the 1100, and Lespalia steadied in the lead by Lacey Morrison, shows the way about 2 lengths on the short price pick, and that is My Chinese King. Masque's Image running third, Oxano at his quarters the other, as the speed slows a shade coming onto the High Street side. Colombo racing up on the outside and shading Al Jamil from Bayraktar and Jewel of the Nile. On the run down to the 800 marker, and the leader is Lespalia, 3/4 My Chinese King. Masque's Image next, followed by Oxano. Colombo wider out. Al Jamil is holding his posse over on the fence from Bayraktar, and a length further off is Jewel of the Nile by the 600 marker, and Lespalia being taken on by the favourite My Chinese King. Masque's Image third, Al Jamil waiting for a clear run, and wider out on the track is Oxano as they wheel for home, and it's Lespalia joined and headed on the outside by My Chinese King. Masque's Image, Al Jamil behind those, and then Oxano. My Chinese King put the head in front from Lespalia. On the outside is Oxano, Masque's Image and Al Jamil. My Chinese King, no good thing, Oxano and Masque's Image. Oxano hits the front, My Chinese King won't go on. Masque's Image battles fairly, but down to the line, it's Oxano, too good for them, and Oxano has proven the best at the 1800, beating My Chinese King and Masque's Image, and then Bayraktar, Lespalia, Al Jamil, and a long margin Colombo, and Jewel of the Nile last pretty well all the way. And a good job there. Number 5, Oxano, has got the prize. Number 5, Oxano, ridden by Robert Thompson. Well, there's a good pick-up ride for Robert when Huey Bowman couldn't make the weight. And Oxano by Octagonal from Ginzano. She was a handy filly, Ginzano, and a handy mare later on, but particularly as a filly. And Occy, the sire of Oxano, trained by Bobby Thompson, and a lucky late ride for Robert Thompson. Waiting on the numbers. 5 Oxano, start number 10, win number 2. My Chinese King, he battled on only fairly. He had a reasonably good run. Rod Quinn moved him up to within striking distance of Lespalia at around about the 800, but he couldn't go on. Here are the numbers. 5, 4, 6 and 3 are official. Number 5, Oxano, ridden by Rob Thompson. Number 4, My Chinese King, second by Distorted Humour, trained by Greg Hickman. And third goes to 6, Masque's Image. First start today for Tim Martin by Masque from Miss Java, ridden by Michael Rodd.
We're collecting the cash. Across the line, 5, 4, 6 and
operation, and being in the mounting enclosure for a good length of time. But I think you've also got to consider one thing too. He's been in work a long time and steps up to the 2000.
And now the West Australian Extolling Virtue completes the line for the Amy Norman Robinson Stakes. Terrific Derby lead up in a fortnight from today. Off they go at the 2,000 metres. P8 and a slow Noble Red out the back with Pay Keys, and Casual Pass first out with Sarira going on Our Court, trying to find the lead. Zab Express settling up in fourth, but wants to over race a little early. Then the filly Royal Mask on the inside of Face Value. 2 lengths to Our Purring, P8 and a Pay Keys, Extolling Virtue, and Noble Red went straight back to last at the 1,500 metres now, and it's a nice solid tempo stringing the field out, and the leader Our Court. Casual Pass 2 lengths away, second by the 1,400. Zab Express third from Sarira. 1 to Face Value, fifth on the outside, and they're followed by Royal Mask on the rail. 2 lengths further back in the field is Our Purring, who's racing on the outside of P8 as they top the rise on the back of the track. Pay Keys is third last, followed by Extolling Virtue, and Noble Red about 12 from the leader. Our Court in front. Casual Pass a length and 3/4 away second. Sarira third on the inside. Zab Express still wanting to go a touch fast to the outside. They're followed then then by Royal Mask, who lobbed along in 5th placing on the inside of Face Value. Break of 3 lengths further back, Piatner on the inside of Our Purring, and then Pay Keys, Extolling Virtue, and Noble Red as last as they come by the 800 metre mark. And the leader, Our Court, Casual Pass, hopped off the rails, is now 3/4 of a length away. Serera the inside, followed by Zab Express. Wonder Royal Mask, Face Value, and then Our Purring easing out wider as they came towards the 600, followed by Pay Keys, Piatner, Noble Red, and Extolling Virtue left last. Coming around the home turn now in the Norman Robinson, and the leader is Our Court from Casual Pass. Zab Express, Serera right behind them, looking for somewhere to go. Face Value with a run. Pay Keys right off the track as they cornered. Noble Red out sprinted at this stage, down towards the 200, and Our Court still had it. Casual Pass after it. Here's Royal Mask, Face Value, and wider out as Pay Keys, but it's Casual Pass hitting the front with 100 to go. He drew a half in front, and he's going to run the trip right out. Casual Pass wins it by 2 lengths. Second placing to Our Court. Face Value grabbing the third from Royal Mask, and then came Noble Red, and back behind him to finish in the race was Pay Keys, and then Serera. A long break, Piatner, Our Purring, Extolling Virtue, and Zab Express pulled his way out of it and was last in. Casual Pass for Noel Callow makes it 3 in a row, and he's run the 2,020 metres out in very strong style. Time is 2:04.5. Casual Pass sitting in for the trail and really savaged the line in great style. One Casual Pass. Noel Callow and Matthew Ellerton unbeaten since the application of blinkers in 3 runs now.
Noel Callow's winning run continues, Andrew Bensley, as it does for Matthew Ellison.
Well done, Matt. Horse played up a little bit in the yard. Were you nervous at all before the race?
Nah, it's pretty normal for him.
What about the race then? Take us through your thoughts just watching it.
His first sort of 400, I thought, oh, geez, he didn't want to settle. And, you know, once he got into his groove, he was really good.
I guess getting up to the 2,000, there were question marks on many of them, but he ran it right out.
Yeah, he's just, you know, he's been a revelation, really. He's raced all through winter. You know, we thought he's just an average type of horse. Put the blinkers on him, and you know, he got on the dry tracks, and he's just flying.
So has it been a combination of just blinkers and just the firm tracks, or is it something that you've just done differently with the horse?
Oh no, not really. You know, he just time. You know, he's just probably does think it's all a big game still, but.
Your Derby bound on that?
It's up whether David wants to pay the late and on.
Okay, you haven't paid up. No. Okay, we'll try and get that clarified. What about for M. Ellerton? You played fairly low key, mate, but you're holding it back in there at the minute.
Oh, no, it's good, you know. He's just, you know, like I said, he's been a revelation, and you know, I hope he keeps on improving.
Well done, Matt.
Thanks, mate.
Matt Ellerton joining us, and we'll try and get David Moody in a sec, Brendan.
Andrew, thanking you. What do we make of the runners up there from a Derby perspective? Alf Matthews, Face Value, and in particular Noble Red. It couldn't quite sprint with them when they turned.
No, the pace wasn't all that solid. They did back off from about the 1,000 metre mark going up, and when they reached the top of the hill. And, you know, Brett sort of tried to improve. Face Value came out to improve, and I thought was improving nicely to run on, but then Casual Pass picked up. I doubted him at the journey, I must admit, being by snippets, and the fact that he was getting added.
And the 4th of the day is the Rose of Tralee Handicap. And first up from a 5 months break, number 4, Sabre Knight. He's a solid favourite. Hasn't been a great deal of action for him in the ring. He's held his position, particularly in the last 10 minutes, and he's 280 in New South Wales. Wouldn't get a lot of argument elsewhere. A little money late for Zaruk, who's tightened up to 490 on Tab Limited, and he's the one that's been best supported to beat number 4, Sabre Knight. So 4 in front of 2, and there has been a sprinkle for Azrak, a sprinkle only. Now here's Ski Lodge coming forward, resuming today. Some of the opinion that she might sprint well fresh, because she's getting out a little on the tote in New South Wales to $9.90, but she's always been at much longer odds in the ring. Previous race won by Oxano. Number 5, Rob Thompson, picked up the mount. Huey Bowman couldn't ultimately make the weight. Beat 4, My Chinese King, 6, Masque's Image, and 3, Bay Raktar. Second going to Dance with Deb, and Rich Megadale won the first. Now we've got Zaruk to move in with Charlie Won't. The race over 1,200. Crowd has built up well in the last 3/4 of an hour or so. Lovely day out here at Randwick, around 23 degrees. Nice breeze. 1,200 metres. They're off this time. Sabanite jumped fairly. Zaruk out well, so too was X-Ray. Charlie Won't not far away, and the same can be said for Razor Knight, hustling up on the inside, followed by Azrak, and then Sabanite, Brasana, and Ski Lodge the tail ender. X-Ray in front as they settle fully into stride from Razor Knight. Zaruk in the third posse, a couple, Charlie Won't, followed by Azrak on the inside of Sabanite, and then Brasana and 2.5 Ski Lodge. Razor Knight pulling his way through on the inside to shade X-Ray as they work to the 650. Third posse is Zaruk, and Charlie Won't on a limb from Brasana. Sabanite about a horse off the rails. Azrak over on its inside. At about 2.5 lengths further back is Ski Lodge as they commence the run around the corner. Pretty compact lot here, and Razor Knight narrowly. Zaruk has gone up to tackle him quickly. X-Ray length away third, and Sabanite called upon now. They top the rise and come down to the 250. Zaruk hits the front. Sabanite's after him. Razor Knight can go no faster with X-Ray, and on the inside Azrak, but Bowman rides hard on Sabanite, and Sabanite has booted away from Zaruk, and then a wall of horses. Ski Lodge getting to the line well, but Sabanite first up from a spell's a mile too good. He carries too much class for them, and Sabanite wins it well from Zaruk, Ski Lodge and X-Ray, then Azrak, Charlie Won't, Brasana and Razor Knight. Too good for them. Number 4, Sabanite. Sabanite, 281.60, and he's a pretty handy horse, always solid in the market, and continues a great run of success being enjoyed by his trainer John O'Shea. He's got some lovely horses in his stables here at headquarters. My Spinning World from Drawcard and Arch Sculptor Mare, and Sabanite, Huey Bowman. So I suppose that is some compensation for Huey, who was replaced on the winner of the third Oxano by Robert Thompson when Huey couldn't get down to 53.5, but he managed 54 for Sabanite with happy results for him and those that were on him. Number 4, the winner 2 gets second. That is Zaruk by Last Tycoon from Pleasure Cruise, Pat Webster, Mitchell Bell, and number 8 in third spot got home well, Ski Lodge, a Grand Lodge mare from Yogurt.
A very, very good horse. He's a doubt, I mean, not a doubt. I don't know if he can run 2,400, but I believe he can, and he's fit enough to do it. Platinum Scissors has been a horse that's won at this track, and he's a Group 1 winner, and he's a horse that's been racing in weight for age at shorter distances. And then, of course, you get Sunday Joy, a lovely mare. I thought there were probably, the mares might be the horse to beat in the race. You know, Barbara Joseph's got a very nice one. The young lady...
The Blue Heelers Kunji. Lights on, they're racing in the Kunji handicap, and Mr. Lofty in the middle of the line didn't jump well. Irish Crusader, Pinstripe and Crawl were away quickly with So Assertive, I Do Blue. Another Warrior trying to boot up to be prominent. They make a line of about 5 early. Settling into stride now. Let's see, Legible's getting up behind the leading bunch into a good trailing, railing position. Pinstripe the leader to Irish Crusader now. So Assertive improving the outside, and another Warrior's handier today up in 4th. They're followed a length and a half to Crawl. Legible the inside, and Badger's Wood doing it tough. He's wide, and Adolescence is deeper still. 4 wide climbing up the hill, and he's going on towards the leaders. Next is Mr. Lofty, who's also tracking wide from White Miss, Spirit of Westbury. 2 lengths further back, I Do Blue, who's eased back, and then Sailor Eve frightening, and they're followed well back in the field by Storm Edition, and Lord Erin is last of all. Now, as they head to the 1,000, Pinstripe had the lead to Adolescence, who strides round the outside and now sits second. Badger's Wood in third placing, followed by Irish Crusader and So Assertive. A length further back, Mr. Lofty posted deep, and then came another Warrior, Legible about 7th or 8th on the rail. Followed further back in the field at the head of the others, White Mist in the orange, getting through on the inside of Crawl, Spirit of Westbury, I Do Blue wide, and then came Frightening, followed further back then by Storm Edition, Lord Erin, and Sailor Eve is now last of all. Coming up towards the 600, and Pinstripe leading narrowly from Adolescence. Mr. Lofty's been let slide, and he joins the leading group with Badger's Wood 4. Right behind them, So Assertive, I Do Blue. Spirit of Westbury starting to run on, and then came another Warrior. Legible's got shuffled back. She's in an awkward place, and she's held up. Mr. Lofty leads from Adolescence and Pinstripe as they corner now. So Assertive searching for an out, and so is Irish Crusader. Legible's running into a pocket. She can't get clear. Here comes Frightening right down the outside. Frightening swept up, goes to the lead from Pinstripe. Running on his Crawl on the outside, but it's Frightening clear, and Frightening beats Crawl by a length. Adolescence third, and then So Assertive, Pinstripe, another Warrior, Legible. didn't get out at all. Next to finish, Sailor Eve, who came through on the inside, and they were trailed further back. Mr. Lofty had a hard trip today. White Mist trailed further back in the field then by Badger's Wood. Lord Erin never came into it. I Do Blue, Spirit of Westbury, and Storm Edition is last of all. The Bart Cummings train Frightening for Greg Childs has swept down the outside while horses were bailed up and searching for runs near the inside with nowhere to go. Greg just descended on them wide, and the horses scored very much a runaway victory from them, giving Greg Childs a third victory in the Coonji Handicap. $24.80 and $8 for the Bart Cummings fans. Crawl has run second, and the third will go to the stablemate Adolescence. So completed numbers in the Coonji: 10, 1 and 7. 10, 1 and 7. Fourth aim went to number 5, So Assertive, and fifth was number 12, Pinstripe. 2:3.51 the time. 2:3.51. Frightening sporting bonded plates here today, back into winning form. Won at Moonee Valley 2 starts ago before his most recent outing. He battled home at Flemington last time out, but there'll be a lot of hard luck stories to come from this race, particularly the run of the favourite Legible. Just didn't get clear for the entire straight. $25.40 and $8 for Frightening. $5.80 Crawl. $10.60 Adolescence. Quinella paying $231 even. The Exacta $550. The Trifecta $7,625.50. The running double 1 and 10 paid $214 even. $214 even, and the margins on the Coonji were a length by a length, and the time 2:3.51. 2 minutes 3.51 seconds. Right.
Very promising.
Yeah, well, his runs have been good. Even the other day, he only got beat 4 lengths in the Metrop and didn't handle the track, so we'll have to put him in this race pretty well.
Another good ride is Shogun Lodge, who makes his long-awaited return today in the Lightning, and he finally gets track conditions to suit.
It's stall number 9, and we're ready for action. Gates are back and they're off, and they jumped in a beautiful line. Cataclysm was away well with Ravenswood and Island Storm. Magsayer's up looking for the lead. Only Glory not far away, and the same for Apo Quality. Ravenswood starting to drift back a little now, followed by St. Jesse and Gwendolyn, 2.5 to Squish. Cataclysm is the leader as they race down to the 800 marker by about a length and a half on Magsayer. The Greyers third, Island Storm, Apo Quality fourth, and Only Glory next on the outside. A length further off is Ravenswood, covering some ground from St. Jesse and Gwendolyn. 2 lengths further off is Squish. This is the order as they come down past the 600, and the popular pick Cataclysm shows the way from Magsayer. Deeper is Island Storm. Apo Quality inside of Only Glory, and then comes Gwendolyn, followed by Ravenswood. St. Jesse is second last, and 2 lengths to Squish as they straighten up, and the rider on Cataclysm easing about 5 off the rails. Magsayer's making the favourite work, and little between them coming to the 200. Island Storm third, followed by on the inside battling on Apo Quality, then Only Glory. Cataclysm is fighting back. Cataclysm and Magsayer, the 2 giant stables. Cataclysm on the inside doing a shade better. Magsayer lunge. Magsayer, I reckon. I think Magsayer and Nostril Cataclysm. And a photo third, Only Glory or Apo Quality, and then Squish followed home by another 2.5 away. St. Jesse, Island Storm, Ravenswood, and tailed right off was Gwendolyn. Magsayer on the outside, prominent here. Danny Beasley for Gay Waterhouse, and Cataclysm under the big weight of 58. Rod Quinn for John Hawkes, the 2 giant stables in Australia, fighting out the finish. Magsayer, the Danehill Dancer filly, getting a big pull in the weights off Cataclysm. Could well have played in her way as the line has been reached. Yes, Magsayer will get this. Number 7, Magsayer, will complete a double for Gay and the Guri Pastoral Company, combining, of course, with Dance with Deb earlier in the day. There's the number 7. Magsayer is the winner. Number 2 gets second, and that is Cataclysm, battled on doggedly, written by Rod Quinn. And the third, number 1, Only Glory, ridden by Larry Cassidy. Number 8 ran 4th, and that was Apo Quality. The winner is by Danehill Dancer from Priceless Joy. The runner-up by Marauding from Shapara, and Only Glory by Honour and Glory from Range Bell. Now the official totes on a thriller: number 7, 10.50 and 2.50. Number 2 paid $1.30, and number 1 paid $1.90. Quinella $10.60. The Exacta $23.90. The Trifecta $107.60.
Okay, Magsay collecting the cash and upstaging the favourite. So 7, 2 and 1. The fancied runner, Louis the Lip. Jockeys are up at Caulfield. This is the Dodo Internet Sprint Quality Group 2 race. Let's log in with our mailman, Alf Matthews.
Top class race. Number 2, Star of Florida. Holds track records, is a very, very fast horse, and I don't think the barrier represents any problem whatsoever. He'll lead and win. Number 16. Just got into the field here and does look very well indeed, and that is Super Groove. First up, record was very good, and it wasn't disappointing in Adelaide, and not much went right for it at Group 1 level in the Goodwood Handicap. Today, first up, drawn perfectly, it'll get a good run. Also, number 8 I'm going to include here, which is the Big Chill. Good horse, and just needs a little bit of luck, and throw in a little bit of value. Number 9, Deprave, can run on after a fast speed.
They've come from everywhere for this race. Apart from the locals, there's the Brisbane Galloper Star of Florida, and Andrew Bensley from the nation's capital comes into the night.
Yes, Keith Dryden. Keith brought the horse down on Wednesday. Everything's been ticking over nice since you've been here.
Yeah, it came down, and the horse has done really well since he's arrived, Andrew.
You galloped up at Canberra before you left, so he didn't really do a lot here anyway, but he's worked leading into this since his first up run.
Yeah, I haven't done a lot with him. He's had one gallop in since the last run, and that was on the Wednesday morning. Then we loaded up Wednesday night and just poked him around. It's only 1,100 metres, so you don't want to be doing too much.
Is the key today, Keith, just back onto a firm track, indifferent to the shorts?
Hope so. Damien said that he didn't handle the heavy going, so there's a lot of pace in this. We'll probably be off the pace a bit today.
It is a good race, though, isn't it? I mean, I know you're hoping, but as Alf Matthews said just a few seconds ago, it'll be a blanket sort of finish. It won't be too much between any of them.
Most certainly. I think there's 8 or 9 good chances in the race.
You still looking at Hong Kong?
Yeah, well, you know, we've got to perform. You wouldn't go over there if you didn't perform, but if he performs today, we'll bring him back on Derby Day. And if he performs well then and we're lucky enough to get asked, I think we'd go.
Good luck today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Keith. Keith Dryden, as you say, from Canberra. Brendan?
Well, Alf, you've tipped the Queenslander Star of Florida. How about the other Queenslander? Many viewers throughout Queensland would be interested in your thoughts on Sir Breakfast. There's been quite a boom on this horse by Breakfast Creek. Last start winner of the Ramornie is first up.
Yes, and I was at Grafton on that occasion when he won the Ramornie. Look, just got there over the concluding stage. I just thought this was a step up in class. I know the Ramornie's a good quality race, but this is an outstanding race, Group 2, and there's a lot of...
Ready. Suit having taken the outside barrier. They're just about right to go. The lights flashing. Line looks okay. A little bit of movement from a couple of them. Racing now, Star of Florida jumped fast with Sir Chuckles' Suit. Sir Breakfast was away very fast on the outside, and Ancient Song began running as they settle into stride. Super Groove is not too far away with Blur and Academe. They go to the 800 metres. Star of Florida wide out leading. Sir Breakfast came across with him. Ancient Song on the rails made a line of 3. In fourth placing, Sir Chuckle with Azevedo, River Dove, Empire in the orange colours. Academe's over on the rails with those in company with Blur. Super Groove is just off them now, followed further back by Deprave, and then came the Big Chill, getting up on the inside. Feel the Noise. Into the Night is a long way back with Suit, and Bomber Bill is last as they swing around the corner now, and Sir Breakfast first into the straight. Star of Florida flat as a strap on the inside. Ancient Song with Academe. Blur starting to run on, and then came Feel the Noise getting through on the inside with about 200 to go. Blur moving up to tackle Sir Breakfast, who's racing greenly. Bomber Bill rattling through with Ancient Song along the inside, but Blur in front on the outside, and it's Blur. Blur first, winning it by over a length. Maybe Ancient Song holds second. Suitors up there with Into the Night, who rocketed home, and Sir Breakfast. Photo for the minor end. And just behind these to finish then was the Big Chill, followed by Bomber Bill, and then came Feel the Noise, Academe, River Dove, Azevedo, Deprave, Empire, Sir Chuckle, Star of Florida, and Super Groovers last in. Blur maintaining a wonderful first up record, 6:40 and 2:30. He raced about midfield. He's come right up the middle of the track where the majority of winners have come today. And he's been very strong to the line in 1:3.51. Blur, number 13, written by Stephen King for Cotton Little first. Second goes to number 12, Ancient Song, Scott Seamer and Peter Moody. And the third number's to Fire into the frame at this stage in the time of 1:03.51. 1:03.51. They're nearly 2 seconds away from the record. Here's third. 6 gets third. Suit, written by Corey Brown. So official placings in the Dodo Internet Sprint, 13, 12 and 6. 13, 12 and 6. Fourth in was Sir Breakfast, who did much of the running, but he rolled about when getting tired and weakened into fourth. And fifth home was number 4, Into the Night. Came around the turn nearly last, but certainly did the best work late in the piece. Well, Blur has been a terrific sprinter, albeit very lightly.
Today you've got a ride in the Tats Cup. Lily O'Reilly, do you know much about it? Trained by Gay Waterhouse.
No, I don't know a real lot about it, but it's just good to have a ride for Gay Waterhouse. It's good.
And you're riding Master Pom, which resumes later today?
Yeah, she's sort of taken
I've got no doubt about that, with most trainers going to put the saddle on and also the jockeys starting to wind up.
Northerly is arriving in the mounting yard. Last year's winner, the King of Caulfield. It all began, this amazing story with a Railway Stakes win, went on to Australian Cups. And there's so many more highlights. There's the betting on the tote. I can tell you that on course it's Mummify, which is the favourite. Let's hear what Katrina Alexander says of her cup hope, On a Babe.
How are the nerves, Katrina? Just a little while from running On a Babe in the Caulfield Cup.
Yeah, very well at the stage. We'll try and get the saddle on straight and we'll see what we're like after that.
Don't put it back to front.
No, exactly.
How's the mare been in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, very well. Her work's been very good, and everything points to have been ready for today.
Is the only minus maybe Caulfield to you instead of Flemington?
Yeah, we'd probably have to say that for sure, and probably now with the inside draw will make it very interesting for her traffic problems wise. So Flemington is definitely her track, but we'll see how we go today. She won't be out of it if she can get a nice run.
Katrina Alexander with among the Kiwi hopes in this afternoon's Caulfield Cup. We've got them from Northern Hemisphere, New Zealand and right around Australia. In the meantime, we head back to Randwick. Shortly, the jockeys will be addressed by Des Gleeson about hopefully what will be an incident-free Caulfield Cup. Let's go to Ian Craig.
Rominko very much shorter on the tote. Maybe that's the Duffus. He supports 690, but on track just a tick under doubles at this stage. So Kablamo favourite, best tried against him Mythological in what looks an interesting race, and the pool is building, getting to 370,000 almost now on the New South Wales Wind Tote. Kablamo has the barrier blanket, and he's being led forward now, and Ceto Star will complete the line. Previous race won by number 7 Mag Sayer, Dan Beasley narrowly from 2 Cataclysm, third one only Glory 8, fourth Apo Quality. Now it's Ceto Star walking forward. Only Ceto Star to complete the line in the 6th of the day. Matthew Talbot, Hostel Transitional Handicap. A wonderful job down at Matthew Talbot. And all is in readiness now. Kablamo favourite, Mythological, best back to beat him. They're in and they're out there racing. A lovely start. Bear Canyon, Chainsaw Charlie got away nicely. So did Special Orders and Mythological. Rominko's not far away. Kablamo, Buckley trying to find a posse on the favourite. Can't get in at the moment. And then the Arc followed by Sadara and Ceto Star. Chainsaw Charlie fired up as the leader.